heart. Set my soul sky high when your painting show starts. Paint will drive into my brain. He's gonna paint, paint, paint till he drives us insane. Something's bugging you, something ain't right. You best.
Hey guys, what's happening, everybody? It's Paint with Josh. Hi, in the studio with you today, rocking just a really cool painting that I'm about to teach you guys. I was messing around earlier in the studio today, and I had just finished watching the Stranger Things finale. Not just like right before I painted, but I was messing around and said, you know what? Let's paint the abyss from Stranger Things and see what it might look like if we painted it like Josh, right? So let's see what we get up to. We've taken our 16 by 20 inch canvas and we're covering it with our Bob Ross liquid clear, right? And when you very first get it, it's not the clearest thing. It's almost like a yellow tint to it, but it's very much like linseed oil. And we cover the entire canvas with that guy. This is the quote unquote on wet portion of the wet on wet technique, right? We take wet paints and apply it to a wet surface. So once wetting down the surface, we're going to remove the excess paint, right? Just by swiping it pretty roughly, right? We're trying to take paint off of the canvas. I don't want to just go like this and just be very light across it and not remove anything. We want to remove it because 9 times out of 10, we put too much liquid clear onto the canvas. And if you don't wipe it, it can cause an issue. I'm telling you from experience. Okay, now we're going to go through the colors that we're going to be using today. This is the Gamblin Indian Yellow or the Bob Ross Indian Yellow, same color. Our Madder Carmine from the Meaden set. We use a Dioxazine Purple from the Gamblin set. The Van Dyke Brown from either your Bob Ross set or the Winsor & Newton. This is what I have today. Let's see, maybe some of our yellow ochre. And then we got, of course, our ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black. Actually, that's ivory black, excuse me. Gamblin ivory black. I would prefer Bob Ross midnight black, but we don't have that right now. So ivory black, and then we've got our titanium white, which is also a Gamblin color. So we got Gamblin, Winsor, Meaden brand, Winsor, Gamblin, Meaden, excuse me, Meaden, and then Gamblin. My dumb dyslexic brain. So you guys let us know where you're watching from. Out there in the night. I'm going to take a little of my Indian yellow, and we're going to go low. Okay, we got to remind ourselves that there is a lot of sky in this painting and not a lot of land, right? So we're going to start down low, much lower than half on our horizon, and just popping on this Indian yellow. Hello, yeah, guys, what was that, London? Which painting? Oh, not the painting. Got it. I was like, which painting? Could have been the abyss from earlier today. Over here, over there. What was it? Oh, you weren't looking? I'll look. I got it. Nope, I'm looking. I'm already there. Already there. Oh, okay. I got you. Excellent. Perfect. Let's see. Whoops. Wrong thing. Wrong thing. Cool. That reminds me, too, I lowered down a bunch of the 16 by 20 prices. So if you are in the market, man, we're going to put some of our Indian yellow up over here, too. And remember, it's kind of hard to see because it's a transparent color. If I were to put our yellow ochre up here in the sky, you would see it instantly because that's an opaque color. We're trying to use transparent colors. So I'm going to take my crimson or that Madder Carmine. You can substitute for crimson, right? Or use your crimson instead. And I want to, again, spread it far. I want it to intermix with the yellow. I don't want to lose all of my yellow down here around the bottom. But we want it to mix in and blend and turn orange, right? We'll get all these cool little colors out there, guys. It's going to be fabulous. Oh, it's going to be fabulous. I can even go back in with more Indian yellow and lay it on even heavier up into that crimson to make more orange, right? All I want to have is a difference out there. So we kind of lay down one color, lay down another color, and then kind of mix them together. Now, we've got that crimson on our brush, right? Then we're going to go into our Dioxazine Purple straight onto the brush. Dump it up here from the top, okay? The Dioxazine Purple is very heavy. It's a very heavy color. And so you need a good amount of it on the brush. And then remember to push it. You have to push and blend this color. Otherwise, it will be too heavy in that area, okay? Now, since I can't see anything, I'm just going to take my purple that's on the brush, mixing it over that yellow and crimson stuff, which is going to give me the most coolest brown you've ever seen. Now, if I don't overmix Don't do everything too much. Then we should be okay. Maybe one more little bit of purple. Let's just have like a streaky little thing down in here, just to have a bit of dark right where that bright is going to be. Oh, it's fabulous. Okay, now we've got to wash off the brush. Okay, then we're going to go into our liquid white and really start brightening up that sky. And we're probably going to do it 2 or 3 times. So if it's not as bright as you want it to be on the very first try, don't worry, we're going to brighten it up. Now, if you want to see what this painting is going to look like, you can go to my place. The mods are telling you how to get there, right? London's probably typing it in. She probably typed it in already. Or you know where to go, right? And so once you go to my place over there, you'll see this painting is the very first thing. It doesn't have a photo yet, but if you scroll down one thing, you'll see the inspiration, and also that version is also available over there. You can grab the bigger one. Scary? What's the question? I'm new to painting. Do you sand your canvas? I've seen people sand their canvas. So you don't need to, right? Unless you're like some snobby person who's going to charge $90,000 for their canvas, right? Your canvas is already done. If you're getting it from an art store, right, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Blick's or somewhere like that, it's all, or Jerry's Artorama, right? They're already going to be prepped. If you're getting your canvas from like from Walmart or somewhere, they don't pay too much attention to them, so you need to do more, right? I've never sanded one of my canvases before. I barely ever gesso my canvases because they're already pre-done for me. And all we have to do, just like I show you guys, there's no editing in these live shows that you watch. Everything that happens is live, including all the accidents, right? So, did I wash that off and then just go back and put it on the canvas? Silly Billy. Now, you can, right? The more that you, like if you put on a layer of gesso and then you sand it down and then you put on another layer and then you sand that down, it'll just make your canvas softer, right? It'll make it feel more smooth. But I like to prove that you can literally get the canvases right out of the multi-pack. You know what I mean? The economy canvases right out of the multi-pack, same things you guys can get using the same supplies that you guys can get. And then we create something gorgeous, right? Now, I just want a little bit, that's probably even too much of liquid white on my brush at one go, right? Little bit. And I'm going to come down here and I'm telling you, boy, oh boy, it gets bright. Look at this guy. And the more that we mix it, the more you'll see that brightness start changing. Where's it going? Right? Does it go over there? Does it creep up over here? Where is all that brightness in your sky? I never like it to all be in the same place. Right? So we just kind of mix it, push it, let it grow downward. Oh, heck yeah, guys. I've been saying, like I was saying, I took down, or I've adjusted down a lot of the 16 by 20 paintings. And some of them are brand new paintings, right? And we've lowered them down to 89. So if you're trying to get a Paint with Josh original or, you know, several, this is your opportunity to do so because the prices are down, my guy. They probably won't be down this low for a long time. So take advantage of them while they're there. We're going to start to mix this guy. And the more that we mix out here into the darkness, the more that color is going to want to go dark, right? So we can decide what it looks like. Do I want to make it brighter? I can go back and wash off my brush because this is one of those times where you need a fresh, clean brush and some fresh paint. Right? What's up? What happened? Let's see. Bob walked so this guy could run. I love that. That is very neat. Thank you for that. Now we're going to come in, get a little bit more of our liquid white. Maybe we could just grab some that's on our palette since we grabbed too much to start. Right? Get out here again and launch it in. Right? It's going to brighten it. And the more that we mix, the darker it'll become. Right? So we can decide how bright we want it to be, how much of that brightness kind of starts creeping up into the sky. Right? You got to have it become darker. So we can't have everything be so bright. We have to let it creep up and just start turning dark. It's going to be fabulous. Now, let's get out here with our titanium white on a big old fan brush. Okay, just pure titanium white. You do not want liquid white up in your sky, especially when you're doing your clouds, beyond this base, right? So we've got all that brightness. What if, it might look like there's something up there, but what if we just kind of accentuate into that brightness over here? launch in this whole big crazy thing, right? Remembering that it's going to disappear. It's going to go behind our foreground, our rocks, our shadow monster creature, whatever the thing is. I don't even know. If you haven't seen it, by the way, don't watch this live because it's going to spoil it for you. If you've not seen the finale of Stranger Things, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about it. And we're going to be painting one of the final scenes from that show. And hopefully it comes out as good as it did earlier today. By the way, we do have paintings for $89, a lot of them, more than 10, more than 15, I bet. I went through every recent painting that we've done, the older paintings and all the rest, and adjusted some pricing for you guys. Now, what happens if we come out here and we just make a whole nother little shape? Right there, bang, just wherever, right? Have a bit of paint out there so that you have something to blend away. We know that if we sit there and mix over and over and over again in the same spot, it's going to disappear. It's going to blend away and be gone. And so you have to move. You got to get out of here and move it, man. Oh, that is a wicked sky so far. We don't even need anything else. That is straight fire. Now, we're going to be mixing up our plaque mix. So we're going to use a little black, a little crimson, a little blue in about equal parts. And yeah, you got to check out these cool glitter wicks, or this cool glitter wicks commercial that we're about to just drop to the world. No one has ever seen this before. Brand new commercial. So I hope you're ready to see it. Are you ready to see it? In either case, check this out, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio with you today, taking a break from editing to talk about our Glitterwix candles. Absolutely fantastic, super unique jars, more than 65 different scents that you can find if you head over to their site. Check it out, get your favorite, let us know which one you got when you come back, and let's pop over to the show and see what we've been missing while we've been gone. Well, even though you might not have been able to hear it, it's very cool. And London's going to get it figured out. We'll play it again later during the show, too. I love that. Okay, now that we've got our plaque mix all mixed up, we're going to take a little bit of white onto our brush right there. We're going to get down into that plaque and start to brighten it up. We don't need it to be so dark. And remember, this is all background stuff, right? We don't need anything to be too detailed or anything. That's why we're going to use a fan brush. And back here, just up into the light, right? We're going to come down like this. These are some far away little rocky cliffs or whatever, right? They're going to be small on the horizon, and they're going to be faint, very faint, right? The more that we pull on them, the more faint they shall become. And the more you pull on it, the more of like a misty effect it's going to leave, okay? Very soft, very small away, far away, in the distance. Oh, I like it already. Remember, it's not supposed to be able to see everything back here. We're taking away the brush details in order to make it look distant and far away. Very cool. Very cool, guys. Now, here comes the, I don't even know what they called it in Stranger Things. Was it the shadow monster? Was it the meat monster? What was it? I don't, does anyone else know? Like what the, I mean, we had the mind flare in the beginning, and then we had the shadow monster. Then we had the meat monster. Then, what was it for season 5? We're going to take a little bit of that darker paint. Let's not get too crazily large either. Very small little line, getting bigger and bigger at the base. It's like we're going to paint almost like a little old bush or something. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to be too noticeable. Just want it to be back there. Right? Have a couple of these guys poking up into the light color of our sky, dropping it down like this, knowing that these guys are going to get covered up, right? They're going to be covered. So don't even worry about what it looks like in the background for sure, right? Because we can always get back in there and cover them. Just make them thicker as they come down. Okay, a little bit thicker. Maybe there's one in here. Maybe we lose this guy in the back. Who knows? We'll figure it out by the time we get there. Okay, now, we want to get or kind of overload our brighter color with more of our original plaque, okay? Loading up our brush, making these guys a little bit bigger and a little bit more dark. So say we came down here, they're bigger, they're thicker, they're going to cover some of those little guys in the back. That's the only thing that we have to do. Cover some of our little friends back there. right? Make like a little kink, almost because it's not a tree, it's not a bush. I thought it was almost like a tree or something like that when we were watching it. And I was like, oh, how cool. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? But it's not a tree. It's actually a monster. And all of these things are its legs. So you're basically giving the legs joints to bend, right? And little pieces where they can kink and make something else there. Curl up like your fingers, right? It's basically like our fingers are like this, and then they're going to flatten out and actually end up turning up upside down. So like I said, if you've not seen it, don't come at me when we start throwing spoilers. I told you we were going to throw some spoilers at you. There. Oh, that's dude. Right? Those little wiggles, those little bits, they're just kinks in the joints of the finger or hand or whatever this giant thing is out there. Just like that. Some smaller ones in the middle, bigger ones in the front. And let's do one more little guy over here. Bang, right? We have to have that little kink in the leg because it is a leg. Like I told you, spoiler alerts out here like crazy. Right now, we're going to let this guy kind of almost like you're giving him roots, right? And kind of growing out, growing down. Oh, that's so cool. Yes, I like it. We're going to take it, we're going to slide it out. Right? All this stuff in the background is just that background, right? So we don't have to worry about it too much. Now, what we're going to do is take a little bit of that plaque mix, and because it's going to intermix with this lighter color, it will brighten up a touch, right? And it'll stand out as being a darker color in front of all those other things back there. Fabulous. What's going on with the comments? It is Stranger Things' sea creature. Yeah, London asked if it was the Kraken that I was painting because it was coming out of a seascape at the time. So I was planning on painting this painting earlier today, and I started painting this wicked cool sky, just like this one. It's gorgeous. And then realized, like, oh, what if I put the ocean in? So I started doing an ocean scene. And then after I'd finished, I was like, I always paint the ocean. Like, why can't I, let's do something different. Let's actually paint the thing that I was going to paint, right? And so then this painting popped out, well, the bigger version anyway, popped out. So we're gonna get a little touch of our Van Dyke brown, okay? We're gonna put our brown down in here, underneath, up and around, right? Doesn't even matter, kind of filling around the base. Should have done it before we put this little rock in over here, but it doesn't matter. There, right? Now we've got this dark kind of browny sand that we're going to be able to brighten as we wish, right? So let's say if you wanted to be a bit brighter, take a bit of our titanium white, right? Our light source is coming from over here. Let's add some of that white right down in there. Just let it get bigger and bigger and bigger, remembering that we're going to be pulling more darkness across it. So it doesn't have to do anything, right? We just need some differences in light, right? And let's say that's looking pretty cool. So what if I wanted it to be brighter back there? I start where I want it to be brightest, and then I'm working that color away and allowing it to mix in with the darker color that's underneath it, right? Very cool. Now, even over here, you can make it so soft that you can't tell how far back it goes because there is no, bottom of the mountain or stop. You just can't see it. That's the best part about it. Making them so soft back there that you can't even see any details. That is cool. That is cool. Right? That way, anytime we drop in new darkness, it will kind of stand out as being in front. So all we're doing is just kind of scribbling in a little bit of a rocky shape, right? Maybe it came out like that. Just kind of filled in a little around the bottom, right? This one, we know we're going to put more rocks and stuff in front of, so we don't have to fill out the black in that same angle like I tell you guys to do all the time, because this is the further away little rock, right? So it's in front of our guy back here, but it doesn't come up all the way into our foreground, right? Oh, that's cool. Meaning we can put something else back there. Now, all we're doing is just kind of pulling and making it soft. Unless you plan on having that be your foreground rock, it has to be a bit softer than those colors are off in the background, right? That thing. Thank you, I appreciate that. I am basically 5 years old, so that works. That's why they like it so much. Now, I can decide, again, do I want to have another little piece of darkness come down here or whatever, right? It's all up to me. It doesn't have to be supremely textured just yet, because I can decide how far away it is by adding more texture or less texture in front of it, right? Ooh, I like him. Now, let's get back over to that dark color, right? And come back off of this side. Let's drop a little, actually, you know what? Let's do something back here. There, just a little guy back here. That's all you need. A little bit of weirdness. Remember, it's another planet, so it doesn't even have to look realistic, quote unquote, right? Because it's not a real place out there in the night. Again, just kind of taking it, pulling it down, softening the paint details. Not trying to get rid of everything, just trying to soften some stuff down. Okay, that way, when we come in with a darker color from a higher point, cutting into that kind of misty area, you're going to drop down, you can project up. All depends on how much paint you have. This is the Paint with Josh fan brush. So just to show you, it doesn't even hold a lot of paint, right? So you can do whatever you guys want to do. You can even do another one in front of that guy. Right? You're only focusing on what you want to see in your painting. So if I'm brushing over these things and taking away all the details, right, that means I want you to focus on something else in our scene, which, as we get closer to us, will get darker. So let's make up some more black mix. Do you guys know the 3 colors that it takes in order to make up this color? Very dark. We can even take a bit of our Van Dyke brown and add that into it as well. It doesn't all just have to be the same every time. Scoop it up, flatten it over, get this big old nasty pile, okay? Now, if I wanted to, right, since these two are pretty similar in color, if I come in here, I can launch in some closer little details, just kind of bouncing it up, filling in that darker paint, right? That darker paint is going to indicate to us that it is closer than that one and that one up here, right? So we get to decide, what do we want it to look like? We start pulling it out, and if you kind of crisscross these things where you're going a little bit higher, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, you can create that little pathway look, right? Maybe this guy came down like this and then flattened out, or was coming down real steep or whatever. Again, we can do whatever we want to do. That's the best part. Right? Oh, maybe it's all just covered in sand and you just can't even see a thing. It's up to us, guys. Now, this guy in the front, okay? Let's take our palette tool, make this one a lot darker, okay? A lot more coverage, a lot more paint up there for sure, more texture, right? Pulling down, and we have to fill the back, right? Because this guy's way up here in the front, so it's got to be very dark back here. Very dark. Now remember, I never like things to be all the way off the edge of the canvas, so we're going to pull up a little bit. There we go. And start pulling this guy out at this downward angle, just so you have a little bit of land there. I never like it to just be falling off the edge of the canvas. I always found that to be lazy. So back in here, a little bit of white on the brush, and I can push back that darker color, revealing whatever I want, right? It's whatever I feel like, basically. Let's come over here now, and you know what we could do? We could drop in a whole nother little guy right there. It's almost like you're just making a little mini mountain, right? That's all I ever think about him as. Bang. How tall, how much paint? Should we continue going up? Just so that darker spot is higher up than our previous spot. That helps a lot. I'm telling you. I've done so many of these little paintings, you guys. So many weird things, so many realistic things, all sorts of things. Done all the things, right? Doesn't matter what you decide to do, whether it's fantasy or realism or whatever, right? All these things come into play every time we do it. So listen to your friend. I'm just trying to help you get better, right? Or pull it down and then pull it back. You got to kind of feed that sand up into the rocks, right? Different angles, different levels, whatever. Just like that. Makes it look a little bit more sunken in. My goodness. Fabulous. Okay, now, these two that are the closest to us are the ones that are going to need some texture on them in order for it to make it look like they're much closer, right? So, I'm going to start mixing up some texturous highlights and shadows, and you guys are going to sit back and check out this cool little commercial we have made, and then when you come back, let us know what you thought. and we'll see you in about 30 seconds. Hey guys, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio with you today, taking a break from editing to talk about our Glitterwix candles. Absolutely fantastic, super unique jars, more than 65 different scents that you can find if you head over to their site. Check it out, get your favorite, let us know which one you got when you come back, and let's pop over to the show and see what we've been missing while we've been gone. Okay, so the sound isn't working through the TikTok back for some reason. That's so weird. It's so strange. Either way, you guys got to go check out Glitterwix because now you've seen the commercial and you've heard it, right? So you got to go over there and check it out, man. Oh, these are looking so good, you guys. Okay, we're going to mix up our Van Dyke brown, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, a little bit of our titanium white. Depends on how much of each color you have, right, will determine what color you're going to end up with. So if I have a lot of white, or even just a smidgenous bit too much of white, then it's going to be very bright. Now, remember, these guys up in the front, they can have a bit of texturous, rocky color and feel, and we're trying not to cover up everything that's in the background. All that darkness that's up, down here, you're not trying to cover all that. You're just trying to graze across a couple little bits, right? So where we can see some shadows, we can see some ridges and gaps and little things in our rocks. That's all you need. Right? You can even come up here and change the shape of it just by scraping with your palette tool. Literally, you'll even make some shadow under there. We can do whatever we want to do. I can even grab some more white, pull it out from underneath, just brightening up my sand in that spot. Up to me how I want it to look like. Up to you how you guys want yours to look, right? Again, we can get over here with that lighter brown color. And again, it's not a light brown. It's a dark brown color. But when we're doing sunset scenes like this, right? In this instance, all of our light is coming from right back here. So you wouldn't really see a lot of these colors, right? If anything, you could leave them as a silhouette and it would still work because our brain can't really pick up everything that's back there while looking straight into the sun and see things that are right at our feet as brightly, right? It kind of picks what it wants to see. So you don't have to cover everything. That's the best part, right? If we come tapping up here at this kind of flat angle and tap on these little bits and let that brown just kind of mix with that darker color until we think, you know what, that's a cool color right there, or that's enough brightness, or that's enough little shadowy, jaggedy spots for me, right? Because it's all up to me. I get to decide how bright it is, how dark it is, how many little things I get to cover over. It's all up to me, right? That's the fun part about it. We can even take a little bit of that highlight off of this guy, but I want it much less, right? Like much more, just kind of smooshed there. There we go, perfect. Littlest bit. I don't want the color to come all the way down here, right? That's why we're doing it second. We're gonna come over there, just kind of leave a couple little bits, little streaks, little things, just to indicate there might be a smallest little detail that's kind of hidden in the mist, right? So you guys are gonna have to start coming up with a name for this guy. You gotta come up with a title. I've already kind of titled it The Abyss, because that's what they called it in Stranger Things, but up to you what we're going to title this one, especially if you are the person to grab this painting during the live show. Then you really get to come over here and tell us what it should be called, right? So if you want to be that person and grab this painting and help make the show better for everyone who's watching, then you got to go over to my place. The mods are telling you how to get there. Super easy to find, really. If you think about like literally anywhere on the web, right? If I wanted to go to, like where would you go if you wanted to find Nikes? You go to Nike blank blank, right? If you wanted to find Paint with Josh, you go to Paint with Josh blank blank. You just put that thing on there. And I'm telling you, you're going to really like what you see. So this is the very first painting that is on the page up there. Right? So if you like it, you don't have to look far. You don't have to search for anything. It's just waiting for you. Right there. Fabulous. Oh, man. I don't know which one I like better. This one or the one we did earlier. They're absolutely fabulous. And then remember, we also have paintings this size At 89, literally. I can't make them any less, right? So if you want to get some cool paintings. Yeah, very true. The end, I mean, if they would have spent more time here, either battling this monster thing or fighting Vecna or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it would have been, it seemed like we were here for like that amount of time in the whole 2-hour episode, and then we were gone back to Earth, you know, learning what they did 18 months later, which I don't care. I don't care about that. I care about this. You know what I mean? I wanted to see the battle. I wanted to see it, you know. And honestly, I don't know if I'm the only one out there, but I'm so sick of happy endings that I wish Vecna would have won and brought the two worlds together to see what it would have looked like. Like, I would have loved that, right? Like, what, we won again? We've won 5 times now. Like, can we not just lose one, right? And do you think Elle is alive, right? Or do you think that she got taken by the darkness? What's up? Yeah, I saw that, right? Do you think she's still out there? Or do you think that she was taken by the darkness? London said it's like Tupac. That's funny. Clouds are awesome. I appreciate you. Now remember, come up with a title for this one. All right? We're only doing this one show tonight. I was hoping this one could find a new home during the show. It's just gorgeous. All right? Then we also have the bigger one, which I'll show you. That one is a slight bit more dear, as they say in the UK. How about check out what we did earlier today, right? You've seen the Abyss, and then we've got this guy. I can't even tell if it's full in frame, like if it takes up too much space or not. This is the one that we did earlier today, which just came out fabulous, if you ask me. Oh, it's got a little rock down here that I'm covering in the front, right? This one is available. It's number 2221, right? And then this one, 2222. Very cool. That shit was funny. Oh, it had 11 flying in. She's just like, she was Naruto running, but in the air. That's what it looked like to me. She was doing air Naruto and jumping like, it was totally air Naruto. No? Am I crazy? Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate you. Troll World. Are we putting the birds in this? I mean, is that even a question? We put the birds into every painting. Even in outer space, the birds go in. Right? Even underwater paintings, the birds go in. What'd you say, Lynn? Yeah. I even did a still life painting of a jar of lemon, or like a pitcher of lemonade. And the birds were in that painting on the little tea towel that was kind of hanging off the shelf. So everywhere or anything that Josh paints will always have the birds, no matter where it is. So we don't want to make them too big. You really got to make them. Oh, look at that, dude. They're flying away from danger. They're like, don't come here. It's bad. You don't want that to happen over there. Oh, it's so nice. Wet, shiny too. Look at that cloud. Looks like a bird coming in, doesn't it? Yeah, right. When the world is saved, but we're going to waste an hour of your time. I was honestly hoping that they would lose, just to see, like, you know, just to see it end. Like, okay, we're going to end the series. Let's end it. Like, everybody's gone. The whole world, like, these two worlds crash together, and like, I wanted to see that. I'm sure everybody likes a happy ending, but I'm sick of happy endings in that show. Like, literally, at the end of everything, it's a happy ending. So, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just a cynical old guy, but I wanted to see us lose. I wanted to see us lose and see what it would look like when those two worlds crash together. Because that is, you know, artistic inspo for me. Okay, so you guys have been fantastic. This one came out amazing, and we're going to choose a title. So type in your title suggestion one last time. We'll pick a title, since this one still belongs to me. And I'll get to title it whatever. Let's see, Dark Fantasy, Dark Fantasia. I like that one. Stranger Things. I mean, that's classic. That's a classic title. Kroll Tower. I dig that. Boom, boom, boom. Right side up. It's kind of cool. I might just call it The Abyss. Dark Narnia. That's kind of cool, too. What did Jorge say above? Dark, whatever he said. It was cool. It stood out right away. I was like, I might name it. Dark Fantasia. I think that's what it was, yeah. Dark Fantasia. The Dark Coming. What about The Nothing from, how am I forgetting? Never-Ending Story. That's what it is. The Nothing. Mystic Dawn is cool. The Dark Claw. I like that. I like that. The Nothing. See, I read your mind. The Cracking. I like that one too. The Cracking. And then if we did it in the water, we could do the Kraken. Okay. The Nothing. I like that. Wild Wild West. Another classic movie I might have to go watch. Okay. We're going to sign this one down at the bottom. And then I'm going to throw in the old... pick a title and throw the signature on the back. So, you guys... What's up? An hour left. I like that. An hour left. Yeah, right. Things get stranger. That's cool. The Dark Valley is cool, too. That is neat. What do you think? The Things Get Stranger? That's cool, too. The Rocky Scare. Call it the final episode. That works, too. Right? The Mind Flare Resting. I like the Dark Valley. Ooh, the Dark Valley. Like, it's almost like... don't mess it up now, Josh. What's that place? There's a real place. It's in Mexico, I believe, called the Zona de Silencio, I think. The Zone of Silence. And there's... Oh, what's the other one? There's another place. I can't remember. Lots of stuff happens there. Death Valley, that's cool. Demogorgon's on holiday. It's funny. The Awakening. Ooh, that's a good one, too. But I like the Dark Valley. That's a cool title. Doesn't really like scream Stranger Things, you know what I mean? Different. I like that. The Dark Valley of the Abyss. Now remember, we have a bigger version of this same painting, well, a very similar painting anyway, that I did earlier today. Spent a lot of time on it, a lot of details, a lot of texture in those rocks, a lot of stuff. So if you like this one and you want one that's a bit more crazy, more detailed and such, you're going to be looking for 2221. This one is 4 2s, was usually the best thing you could get at a bar in Las Vegas. Woo! Be like, all right, we're partying. What are we calling it again? The Dark Valley. Like it. Okay, so you guys can find this one right on the home page of my place, and very easy to find. 1/4/2026. I can't believe it's already the 4th. Where is the time going? So you guys head over there, check it out, and then grab this painting, right? If you do it right now during the live show, you get a free spin on the Spinny Winnie wheel. If you get that bigger version of the Abyss, you also get a free spin on the Spinny Winnie wheel. Everything else is so low that it doesn't really qualify for the wheel. So I do appreciate you guys. You're amazing. You guys that grabbed those other paintings, who was that? Oh, that's Go With The Flow. Go With The Flow. And then, what's that, Glenda? Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Like I said, surprised this one's still available. I agree. I'm surprised the other one's still available too. It's bigger, you know what I mean? Which also isn't always better, right? To have your thing be... I like the shape of this guy. It's kind of skinnier. It looks more realistic. The other one kind of got 1 or 2 more legs that might not have actually been there in the show. But it's so striking, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's fabulous. Michael Myers followed me. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, well, this one came out amazing. You guys are awesome. We've already signed it. We've titled it. We've put the birds on it. And it only took less than... Hello, what was that? Was that? Oh, good. It's not this one, because I might take this one home, honestly. This one is looking cool. We might take that one home. So somebody just grabbed another painting at the crazy pricing that we have. Oh, that was a new one too. I'm telling you guys, I took most of the 16 by 20s, which is this size, and I put them at 89. So anybody out there could get 1 or 2 or 10. You know what I mean? Whatever you guys wanted. And we normally only have about 5 at that price in the shop at all time, or at any time. But now there's like 10, 15, 20 of them over there that are real low. So if you're looking for a Paint with Josh original, now is the time to get it, because they will only go up from here, right? So you guys have been amazing. I love yous all. Like I was saying, we took about 40 minutes on this one. I can't wait to see what you can do. You don't have to be as fast as me. It's kind of slippery with our liquid clear and then our liquid white sky, but it gives you such a cool effect. So I can't wait to see your guys' versions. Please send them in to me on Facebook, which is at official Paint with Josh. If you send it to me on the IG or Instagram is at Paint with Josh K. Same thing over on TikTok, Paint with Josh K. And if you want to find all of my YouTube videos, search YouTube for Paint with Josh. I love you guys. I can't wait to come back. We'll be back tomorrow night for Monday Night Madness at 5 o'clock Pacific, which is 8 on the East Coast. And so until then, on behalf of London and myself, I hope you guys have a great night. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Rest of a good day. And bye. Well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out paintwithjosh.com, because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.